Oh, today is Wednesday, excuse me, June 17th, 2026, and getting a slightly different view in this meditation since I got a different desk in my office and had to rearrange things. So if it looks different, I'm still in the same room, it's just a different camera angle. Today I'm going to share with you a meditation from the Unitarian Universalist Church's meditation that's sent out periodically called Braver, Wiser, Courage and Compassion for Life as It Is. And I just found this one thought provoking and helpful in my own life and in my relationship to other people. As sacred texts can often do. And I would consider this a sacred text in a way. Um, so I thought I'd share it with you. The title of it is On Being Non-Binary, written by Kat Rambo. And it begins with a quote from Ursula K. Le Guin. My use of their, Their, is socially motivated, a deliberate response to the socially and politically significant banning of our genderless pronoun by language legislators enforcing the notion that the male sex is the only one that counts. I consistently break a rule I consider to be not only fake, but pernicious. I know what I'm doing and why. And then Kat Rambo writes, early on in my life, I learned that it was a terrible thing to be mistaken for the opposite gender. But I often was, as a shaggy-haired kid with thick glasses and a science fiction paperback stuffed in my back pocket, and I found that my mother cared about it much more than I did. When I played Dungeons and Dragons as a young adult, I was usually the only female in the group. No matter what character I ran, the other players persisted in treating my character as the person to be protected, even when I was running the biggest badass in the group. And socially, I was presumed to be the peacemaker of the group, the advisor, the confidant, even when I didn't want to be. It's fitting that I realized I was non-binary at a 2019 science fiction convention. In that revelatory space, I was finally able to articulate something I've been fumbling my way towards and say it to others. I'm non-binary. Moving outside of femininity is how I managed to be myself. Being non-binary lets me evade much of that internal programming and braces me to resist the other parts of it. The universe is non-binary too, but we keep trying to impose a binary nature on it. I believe that the binary I believe that the binary that's done more harm than any of the others is us versus them. It's a seductive binary because being one of us is a human instinct. We want to fit in, we want to be accepted, we want to be part of the crowd and not the outsider. But everyone is us, whether we or they like it or not. We're all inhabitants of the same planet, and so we must figure out how to get along. The stranger you do not know is not an enemy, but a potential friend, and certainly a comrade on this small lifeboat, surrounded by sharks whose primary characteristic is not their gender, but their hunger. The universe is a complete entity, and I am a reflection of that entirety, not just parts. To be non-binary is to say, I'm choosing my own path. I know it will be rocky from time to time, but there are things to experience along the way. There are flowers, and there are companions, and there are all of you. And Cat's prayer. Thank you, universe, for all the complexity around me, and for manifesting me as part of that complexity. Help me perceive and appreciate it in the people around me. Well, so much came up in my mind as I was reading this. Um, I think first of all, it's again, once again, this writing is a strengthening of the thought that I've often shared that we are one in the universe. We're all part of this world in which we live, part of creation, if you will, and we're an integral part of it. And we all have our parts to share, and to degrade or neglect any single part of it as being unnecessary or less than is, I guess, in a way, a sin um, against who we are and against what we are a part of. It's really understanding that we all are on this world together in a huge diversity. And it's that diversity that makes it such a beautiful place. Um, no one else is exactly like me, nor would I want anyone else to be exactly like me. And meeting people who are different than I am opens my eyes to the beauty and the diversity that exists. I thought about that when I was living in Germany and just seeing the way different cultures live and work and eat and play and share. Um, and while I was in Germany, I was able to travel around. I was privileged to have the German 6 weeks of vacation, and being centrally located in Europe, in Germany, and a wonderful public transportation system throughout Europe, was able to travel around to a lot of different countries and experience a lot of different cultures and foods and people. And it was wonderful. And it really opened my eyes to um, different cultures, different ways of living, different values per se, um, aren't good or bad. They're just different. And in some cases, experiencing those different cultures made me appreciate more what we had in our own culture, and in other cases, it actually made me want to work toward changing our culture and adapting some of the things that other cultures and communities and peoples held dear. And I don't know, it just gave me a great appreciation for the diversity in creation. And it did nothing against me to be that way. In fact, it enhanced my life, I think, to be that way. And so it is, I think, when we, excuse me, meet with people who perhaps are of a different gender or identify themselves in a different way than we do, not accepting are not looking at them as good or bad or judging a person, but just simply accepting them for who they are and appreciating them for who they are as just being different. And different isn't good or bad, it's just different. And that's okay. If that's how they need to live in the world to feel whole and to feel part of this world that we're in, then I think that's the way that we should treat them and we should treat ourselves as well. And I think this is reflected in a lot of Christian texts, Jewish texts, Islamic texts, even I think in the thoughts of Buddhism, um, and so on. It fits well if you really read those texts and communicate with people from those faith traditions. You'll find some threads of commonality between them all. Um, and if you believe in a creator and God, we're all here as part of this creation. And Christians and Jewish people from Judaism and Islam as well see humanity as created in the image of God. And so if you see that, every person you meet is created in God's image. So um, open your eyes, open your heart, and love yourself as well. Don't be afraid of being true to who you feel you are, and being true to how other people feel and view themselves, and care for them as part of this great creation in which we are integral to. So I hope that's given you some things to think about, um, to explore, and open your heart a little bit, especially during this month of Pride Month, understanding all the letters in the LGBTQIA plus scenario, and explore it and love it and accept it. Um, accept people for who they believe they are or see themselves as, because in many cases it is that acceptance and love from other people that could save their lives. So it's an important part of the month of this month of Pride. Hope it's giving you something to think about, and hope to talk to you again soon.